I'm 75 now, and I can't remember anybody except the Queen Bee.
For years, the British royal family appeared to be following a familiar script, with King Charles III carrying the weight of the crown, Queen Camilla steadily defining her place within the monarchy, and Prince William preparing for the responsibilities that one day await the future king. Yet behind the carefully managed appearances, behind the palace walls and the polished photographs, something else was unfolding quietly, almost invisibly. By the time Buckingham Palace fully recognized what had changed, Catherine, Princess of Wales, had already transformed the balance of influence inside the royal family without ever appearing to fight for it. Most people remember Kate Middleton's royal story as one built on patience, but palace insiders have often suggested that patience alone does not explain what happened. What if the years before Catherine, Princess of Wales, entered the monarchy were not years of waiting at all? What if those years were preparation? And what if the qualities many observers once dismissed as quietness were actually the foundations of something far more powerful? Because the deeper you look into Catherine's journey, the more one question begins to emerge. Did the Princess of Wales build her influence years before anyone realized she was doing it? When Catherine married Prince William in 2011, global attention focused on the fairy tale wedding, the iconic dress, and the symbolism of a future queen entering one of the world's most scrutinized institutions. Yet what many people overlooked was that Catherine, Princess of Wales, arrived with a perspective few members of the royal family ever possess. Unlike those born into royal life, Catherine had spent years observing the monarchy from outside its walls. During nearly a decade of public attention before marriage, Kate Middleton watched how Buckingham Palace handled crises, how media narratives formed, and how public opinion could elevate or damage even the most senior royals. That outside perspective became one of Catherine's greatest advantages. While many people assumed Catherine was simply adapting to royal life, Catherine, Princess of Wales, was studying it. Every public appearance, every charitable initiative, every palace communication offered lessons about what strengthened the monarchy and what weakened it. Rather than rushing to define herself through dramatic headlines, Catherine chose something much more unusual in modern public life. Catherine chose consistency, and that consistency soon began producing results that were difficult to measure at first but impossible to ignore later. While media attention often focused on high-profile royal drama involving Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, and broader discussions surrounding the future of the monarchy, Catherine quietly concentrated on relationships. Not relationships designed for headlines, but relationships inside the institution itself. Palace staff, communications teams, senior advisors, charitable organizations, and community leaders all encounter the same version of Catherine. Prepared, respectful, focused, reliable. That reliability became increasingly important as the royal family entered one of the most turbulent periods in modern history. The departure of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle from frontline royal duties created unprecedented challenges for Buckingham Palace. Public debates surrounding the monarchy intensified. Questions about succession, relevance, and public trust became unavoidable. Throughout those difficult years, Catherine, Princess of Wales, rarely entered public controversies. Instead, Catherine continued strengthening something that often proves more valuable than publicity itself: credibility. And here is where the story becomes particularly interesting. While some royal figures generated headlines through interviews, disputes, or public disagreements, Catherine's reputation was being built through repetition. The same professionalism, the same preparation, the same commitment to causes that reflected long-term priorities rather than short-term attention. Early childhood development, mental health advocacy, family support initiatives, and community engagement became closely associated with Catherine, Princess of Wales, not because palace strategists demanded it, but because Catherine repeatedly demonstrated genuine commitment to those subjects. The result was something far more significant than popularity. Over time, Catherine became one of the few members of the royal family trusted across multiple generations. Supporters of King Charles III respected Catherine. Admirers of Prince William viewed Catherine as essential to the future king's vision for a modern monarchy. Even many people who rarely followed royal affairs viewed Kate Middleton as a stabilizing presence during periods of uncertainty. That level of trust cannot be manufactured through publicity campaigns. It is earned gradually, often invisibly, through years of consistent behavior. Then came one of the most challenging periods of Catherine's life, a period that changed public perceptions more dramatically than any royal appearance ever could. As concerns surrounding Catherine's health emerged and speculation spread across social media and international media outlets, public attention intensified in ways few royal figures have experienced. Yet when Catherine, Princess of Wales, eventually addressed her cancer diagnosis directly, the response revealed something extraordinary. The public reaction extended beyond sympathy. People felt personally invested in Catherine's well-being. That moment demonstrated something Buckingham Palace could not ignore. Catherine was no longer simply the future queen. Catherine had become one of the monarchy's most trusted public figures in the present. Public confidence surrounding Catherine, Princess of Wales, was stronger than ever. Support extended across political viewpoints, age groups, and even among many individuals who typically showed little interest in royal affairs. Suddenly, the influence Catherine had spent years building quietly became visible for everyone to see. But here is a part of the story that many royal observers believe changed everything. Catherine returned not as a diminished figure seeking protection, but as a stronger figure carrying unprecedented public goodwill. Palace insiders reportedly understood that the environment inside the monarchy had shifted. The Princess of Wales was no longer simply preparing for a future role. Catherine had become one of the central figures shaping the monarchy's present reality. And if that realization alone created tension behind palace walls, what happened next would raise even bigger questions about influence, succession, and the future direction of the royal family. Because according to reports and royal commentators, Catherine, Princess of Wales, was about to make a move so subtle that most people missed it entirely at first, yet so effective that some insiders would later describe it as a turning point in the balance of royal influence. Before we uncover the move that reportedly stunned palace observers and changed the conversation surrounding Queen Camilla, Prince William, and the future of the monarchy, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications because the next chapter reveals why one carefully timed decision may have altered the royal landscape far more than anyone expected. The question facing royal watchers was no longer whether Catherine, Princess of Wales, had become one of the most influential figures in the British monarchy. The real question was something far more intriguing. What would Catherine do with that influence? Because throughout modern royal history, influence alone has never changed institutions. Influence only matters when it is applied at exactly the right moment. And according to royal commentators, Catherine was about to demonstrate an understanding of palace dynamics that surprised even some of the monarchy's most experienced observers. In the months following Catherine's gradual return to public duties, the atmosphere surrounding the royal family remained unusually delicate. King Charles III continued balancing public responsibilities while managing health concerns. Public discussions surrounding Prince Harry and Meghan Markle remained a recurring challenge for Buckingham Palace. Questions about the future direction of the monarchy continued appearing across newspapers, television programs, and political discussions. Against that backdrop, Catherine, Princess of Wales, appeared remarkably focused, avoiding distractions while steadily expanding public engagement. Yet something unusual began attracting attention among palace insiders. Catherine was not limiting appearances to traditional areas already associated with the Princess of Wales. Instead, Catherine, Princess of Wales, began appearing in spaces that overlapped with interests historically linked to Queen Camilla. At first glance, those appearances seemed entirely routine. Literary initiatives, cultural organizations, educational projects, and community-focused charities often involved multiple senior royals. Nothing appeared controversial. Nothing appeared confrontational. But experienced palace observers understood that influence inside the monarchy rarely shifts through dramatic announcements. Influence shifts through presence. And this is where many commentators believe the balance began changing. Every appearance by Catherine generated extraordinary attention. Every visit involving Catherine, Princess of Wales, attracted significant media coverage. Every public engagement featuring Kate Middleton created discussion across television networks, newspapers, and social media platforms. The contrast was becoming difficult to ignore. While Queen Camilla remained an important figure within the royal family, Catherine increasingly became the person attracting the greatest level of public enthusiasm. Have you ever noticed how power often changes hands before official titles change? That question became increasingly relevant because no formal announcement had been made. No constitutional adjustment had occurred. Yet public attention was beginning to concentrate around Catherine, Princess of Wales, in a way that suggested something larger was happening beneath the surface. Reports suggest that one particular engagement became a major talking point among royal insiders. Catherine attended an event connected to a respected cultural institution that had traditionally enjoyed close associations with causes championed by Queen Camilla. Nobody expected controversy. Nobody anticipated headlines. However, what happened during that appearance reportedly altered the conversation inside palace circles almost immediately. Rather than simply attending, Catherine arrived exceptionally prepared. Observers noted that Catherine, Princess of Wales, spoke with detailed knowledge about the institution's mission, future goals, and ongoing challenges. The engagement reflected something that had become a recurring feature of Catherine's public style: preparation. While many public figures rely heavily on ceremonial appearances, Catherine consistently demonstrated familiarity with the organizations receiving royal support. Then came the development that reportedly caught many observers off guard. Catherine announced that Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, would be extending support through a broader long-term partnership connected to the institution's future initiatives. The announcement appeared positive, charitable, and entirely appropriate. Yet royal commentators quickly recognized a deeper significance. The Princess of Wales had not merely visited. Catherine had expanded influence into a space that previously carried strong associations elsewhere within the royal structure. What made the situation even more fascinating was the reaction that followed. Catherine, Princess of Wales, did not celebrate the move publicly. Prince William did not engage in public commentary. Buckingham Palace offered no dramatic explanation. The silence itself became part of the story, because when major changes occur without public conflict, speculation often grows stronger. Some royal analysts suggested that Catherine's approach reflected long-term strategic thinking rather than short-term visibility. Other commentators argue that Catherine was simply supporting causes aligned with personal interests. Regardless of interpretation, one reality became increasingly difficult to dispute. The Princess of Wales was expanding influence while maintaining an image of calm professionalism. That combination can be extraordinarily powerful inside institutions built on perception. Meanwhile, public support for Catherine continued strengthening. Every appearance reinforced the idea that Catherine, Princess of Wales, represented stability during a period when the monarchy faced multiple pressures. Prince William and Catherine increasingly appeared as the future-facing image of the royal family, while King Charles III continued carrying the responsibilities of the present. The contrast created a fascinating dynamic that royal observers could not stop discussing. But according to reports from palace circles, the most significant consequences had not yet emerged. Because influence creates reactions, and reactions often reveal far more than the original action itself. What happened after Catherine's expanding presence became impossible to ignore. Reportedly exposed tensions, frustrations, and competing visions for the monarchy's future. So before we move into the next chapter, where reactions inside royal circles allegedly began creating consequences nobody anticipated, take a moment to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Because the developments that followed Catherine's growing influence would transform a quiet shift in attention into a much larger conversation about power, legacy, and the future leadership of the British monarchy. And what happened next may have revealed more about the royal family than any official statement ever could. By this stage, the discussion inside royal circles was no longer centered on whether Catherine, Princess of Wales, had become one of the monarchy's most influential figures. The conversation had evolved into something much more sensitive. Palace observers were beginning to ask whether Catherine's growing influence was quietly reshaping the internal hierarchy of the royal family itself. And according to reports from royal commentators, the reactions that followed revealed far more than anyone expected. One of the most fascinating realities about royal institutions is that influence cannot remain invisible forever. Eventually, growing influence begins affecting decisions, public attention, media priorities, and institutional resources. That is precisely why the developments surrounding Catherine, Princess of Wales, became so closely watched. Every appearance by Kate Middleton seemed to generate increasing levels of public engagement, while discussions surrounding the future king, Prince William, became increasingly linked to Catherine's popularity and public credibility. What made the situation particularly significant was timing. King Charles III remained committed to his duties and continued representing stability during a challenging period for the monarchy. However, the public conversation was increasingly focused on the future rather than the present. Newspapers were discussing succession. Television commentators were debating modernization. Royal analysts were examining how Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, might eventually shape the next era of the monarchy. Without any official declaration, attention was gradually shifting toward the next generation. And this is where reports suggest concerns began emerging among certain palace figures. While Catherine never publicly challenged anyone, never engaged in open competition, and never appeared interested in palace rivalries, influence often creates unintended consequences. When one royal consistently attracts greater public enthusiasm, greater media coverage, and stronger emotional connection with the public, comparisons become inevitable. Those comparisons may be uncomfortable, but they are difficult to prevent. According to royal commentators, several media stories began appearing that subtly questioned whether Catherine, Princess of Wales, had expanded too quickly into areas traditionally associated with other senior royals. None of these reports contained direct accusations. None created major scandals. Yet the underlying message appeared noticeable to experienced observers. Questions were being raised about coordination, communication, and the evolving distribution of influence within the royal family. What happened next raised an even bigger question. Why did Catherine refuse to respond? Most public figures facing criticism attempt to defend themselves. Most institutions launch explanations. Most political operations organize counterarguments. Yet Catherine, Princess of Wales, reportedly chose a completely different strategy. Catherine remained silent. Prince William remained silent. The Princess of Wales simply continued attending engagements, supporting charities, and focusing attention on public service rather than palace speculation. Have you ever noticed how silence can sometimes be more powerful than argument? Royal analysts frequently point to this principle when discussing Catherine's approach. Every time speculation emerged, Catherine appeared at another charitable engagement. Every time palace rumors circulated, Kate Middleton was photographed supporting another community initiative. Rather than feeding controversy, Catherine consistently redirected attention toward work. The effect proved remarkable. Instead of weakening Catherine's position, the discussions often appeared to strengthen public sympathy for the Princess of Wales. Supporters viewed Catherine as focused, disciplined, and committed to service. More importantly, Catherine's reputation for professionalism continued growing at exactly the moment scrutiny was increasing. Meanwhile, Prince William's household reportedly remained calm throughout the entire period. Reports suggest that advisors surrounding the future king viewed long-term credibility as more valuable than short-term victories. Rather than engaging in public disputes, Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, appeared determined to allow public perception to develop naturally. The contrast became increasingly difficult for observers to ignore. On one side stood ongoing speculation, commentary, and palace rumors. On the other side stood Catherine continuing public duties with the same composed approach that had defined more than a decade of royal life. As weeks passed, many commentators concluded that the Princess of Wales was benefiting from a powerful advantage. Catherine no longer needed to convince people of her value. Large sections of the public had already reached their own conclusions. Yet perhaps the most important development was occurring behind the scenes. Reports from palace insiders suggested that Catherine's growing influence was no longer viewed as temporary. Increasing numbers of observers began describing Catherine, Princess of Wales, not simply as a future queen, but as one of the monarchy's central pillars in the present day. That distinction may seem subtle, but inside institutions built on hierarchy and succession, it carries enormous significance. And if that realization represented a turning point, the next phase would become even more consequential. Because according to royal commentators, a series of decisions made in response to Catherine's rise would ultimately produce results that few people anticipated. Instead of slowing Catherine's momentum, those reactions allegedly accelerated it, creating a chain of events that transformed a quiet shift in influence into something that many palace observers began describing as irreversible. Before we uncover the decisions that reportedly changed everything and examine why some royal insiders believe the balance of influence had permanently shifted toward Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Because the next chapter reveals how a series of responses, intended by some to protect existing influence, may have achieved the exact opposite result and pushed the future king and future queen even closer to the center of royal power. There are moments in royal history when a situation quietly reaches a point of no return, yet almost nobody recognizes it while it is happening. The photographs appear ordinary, the engagements seem routine, the official statements sound familiar. Then months later, historians and commentators look back and realize the turning point had already occurred. According to many royal observers, that is exactly what happened as Catherine, Princess of Wales, continued strengthening her position while others struggled to adapt to the changing reality inside the monarchy. What made this period so remarkable was that Catherine never appeared to be pursuing power in any traditional sense. There were no public demands, no palace confrontations, and no visible attempts to dominate the conversation. Instead, Catherine, Princess of Wales, continued doing something far more effective. Catherine remained relentlessly focused on public service while allowing public perception to evolve naturally. That approach may sound simple, but within institutions where image and influence are deeply connected, simplicity can become a powerful strategic advantage. At the same time, reports suggest that certain efforts to counter Catherine's growing prominence were producing unintended consequences. Royal commentators noted that every attempt to create direct comparisons between Catherine and other senior royals often ended up highlighting the Princess of Wales even more. Every discussion about popularity appeared to reinforce Catherine's public standing. Every debate about influence seemed to generate additional attention toward Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, as the future of the monarchy. And this is where the story becomes especially fascinating. According to palace analysts, the issue was no longer about individual engagements or isolated headlines. The issue had become perception. Public perception is one of the most valuable currencies within any monarchy because public trust ultimately determines institutional strength. By this stage, Catherine had accumulated something that cannot easily be manufactured through communication strategies or media campaigns. Catherine had accumulated credibility. Have you ever wondered why certain public figures continue gaining support even during periods of intense scrutiny? Royal experts often argue that credibility creates resilience. When audiences trust someone's character, criticism tends to lose much of its impact. That principle appeared increasingly relevant to Catherine, Princess of Wales. Public confidence in Kate Middleton had been built over many years through consistency, professionalism, and visible commitment to charitable causes. As a result, challenges that might have damaged other public figures often failed to produce the same effect. Meanwhile, the role of Prince William became increasingly important. As discussions surrounding succession continued appearing across media outlets, many commentators emphasized that Prince William, the future king, represented continuity for the institution. Yet what made Prince William's position particularly strong was the widespread perception that Catherine, Princess of Wales, strengthened that future rather than merely accompanying it. Together, Prince William and Catherine projected stability during a period when the monarchy faced numerous external pressures. Reports suggest that palace staff and advisors were paying close attention to these developments. While official royal operations rarely comment on internal dynamics, observers frequently noted how public attention increasingly followed Prince William and Catherine. Events featuring the Prince and Princess of Wales generated substantial coverage. Charitable initiatives connected to Catherine attracted significant engagement. Community appearances involving Prince William often sparked discussions about the monarchy's next chapter. The momentum became difficult to ignore. Some commentators described it as a natural consequence of generational transition. Others viewed it as evidence that Catherine, Princess of Wales, had successfully positioned herself as one of the monarchy's most effective public ambassadors. Regardless of interpretation, a growing number of royal analysts began reaching a similar conclusion. The center of public enthusiasm within the royal family was gradually moving toward Prince William and Catherine. What made that shift especially significant was that King Charles III himself appeared focused on preserving institutional stability above all else. Reports and commentary consistently suggested that the king's priority remained the long-term strength of the monarchy. In that context, the growing popularity of Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, was often viewed not as a threat to the institution, but as an asset for its future. Yet according to some royal insiders, the most revealing moment had not yet arrived. Because there comes a stage in every major transition when influence stops looking temporary and starts looking permanent. That stage was approaching rapidly. Observers who had spent years studying royal dynamics reportedly began noticing subtle signs that the monarchy's future leadership team was already becoming its most important public-facing force. The implications of that realization extended far beyond headlines or media coverage. If Catherine, Princess of Wales, had truly reached a point where public trust, institutional support, and future succession were all aligning simultaneously, then the balance of influence inside the royal family may have shifted more dramatically than many people realized. And once multiple sources of influence begin moving in the same direction, reversing that momentum becomes extraordinarily difficult. But the most compelling question remained unanswered. If Catherine's rise had become so significant, how would history ultimately remember this period? Would future royal historians describe it as a natural evolution of the monarchy, or would they identify specific moments that permanently altered the institution's center of gravity? According to royal commentators, the answer may lie in what happened next, because the final phase of this story reveals why many insiders allegedly concluded that Catherine, Princess of Wales, had achieved something far more powerful than popularity. Before we uncover the final chapter and examine why some palace observers believe Catherine's position had become virtually unchallengeable within the future structure of the monarchy, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Because the conclusion of this story explores the deeper reasons why Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, may now represent the defining force shaping the next era of the British royal family. The deeper royal observers examined the events surrounding Catherine, Princess of Wales, the clearer one conclusion appeared to become. The story was never really about a single engagement, a single announcement, or even a single period of public support. The story was about accumulation. Year after year, Catherine built something that few public figures ever successfully achieve: trust. Not temporary popularity driven by headlines, but durable trust capable of surviving scrutiny, uncertainty, and changing political or cultural climates. That distinction matters because popularity can disappear almost overnight, while trust becomes part of a person's public identity. Throughout more than a decade of royal life, Catherine, Princess of Wales, consistently reinforced the same image: prepared, reliable, focused on service, committed to family, dedicated to causes extending beyond personal publicity. By the time Catherine emerged from one of the most challenging periods of her life, that reputation had become deeply embedded in public consciousness. Royal commentators frequently point to an important reality when discussing the future of the monarchy. Institutions survive not merely because they possess history, tradition, or constitutional authority. Institutions survive because people continue believing those institutions remain relevant. That is where Catherine, Princess of Wales, appears to occupy such a significant position within the modern royal family. Large sections of the public increasingly view Catherine as someone capable of connecting royal tradition with contemporary expectations. And perhaps that explains why so many palace observers believe this shift cannot easily be reversed. Public trust favors Catherine. Future succession favors Prince William and Catherine. Media attention consistently gravitates toward the Prince and Princess of Wales. Even discussions about the monarchy's long-term future often begin with Prince William, the future king, and Catherine, Princess of Wales, the future queen. When multiple sources of influence begin reinforcing one another simultaneously, momentum develops that becomes extremely difficult to stop. Have you noticed that some transitions happen long before official ceremonies acknowledge them? According to many royal analysts, that may be the most important lesson from this entire story. The constitutional structure of the monarchy has not changed. King Charles III remains the reigning monarch. Queen Camilla remains queen consort. Yet influence inside major institutions rarely waits for formal transitions. Influence often moves first, while titles follow later. Reports suggest that many palace insiders have already adjusted to that reality, not because anyone has been removed from a position of importance, but because the future direction of the monarchy appears increasingly clear. Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, represent continuity. Prince William and Catherine represent stability. Prince William and Catherine increasingly represent the public face of the next royal era. Whether discussing charitable work, community engagement, family values, or the monarchy's relationship with younger generations, conversations repeatedly return to the Prince and Princess of Wales. At the same time, the story carries an important lesson about how influence is actually built. Catherine never appeared to chase attention. Catherine never relied on dramatic public battles. Catherine, Princess of Wales, spent years creating relationships, strengthening credibility, and demonstrating consistency. Many people interpreted that approach as passivity. Looking back, some royal observers now believe it was patience combined with long-term strategy. That may be why the most powerful moment in this entire story was not a speech, a confrontation, or a headline. According to commentators, the most powerful moment occurred when Catherine continued moving forward while refusing to be distracted by controversy. The Princess of Wales allowed actions to speak louder than reactions. In doing so, Catherine strengthened exactly the qualities that made public support so resilient in the first place. As discussions surrounding succession continue, and as King Charles III guides the monarchy through a changing era, attention will inevitably remain focused on the next chapter. Prince William's future role as king is certain. Catherine, Princess of Wales, will one day become queen. The only uncertainty involves timing. Yet for many observers, the larger question has already been answered. The foundation of that future appears to have been built long ago. Whether someone views these developments as strategic brilliance, natural evolution, or simply the consequence of years of public service, one reality remains difficult to ignore. Catherine, Princess of Wales, has become one of the most influential figures in the modern royal family. And if palace commentators are correct, the effects of that influence may continue shaping the monarchy for decades to come. So what do you think? Has Catherine, Princess of Wales, quietly become the monarchy's most important public figure? Or do you believe the balance of influence inside the royal family is more complicated than it appears? Share your thoughts in the comments below, because the conversation surrounding Prince William, Catherine, Princess of Wales, King Charles III, Queen Camilla, Prince Harry, and Meghan Markle continues evolving with every passing year. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and join our growing community of royal watchers who follow every development surrounding the British royal family. Thank you for watching, and remember, sometimes the most important shifts in history are not the ones announced with great ceremony. Sometimes the most important shifts happen quietly, patiently, and so effectively that by the time the world notices, everything has already changed.